that you have synesthesia. Is that true? Do you
Mm-hmm.
experience synesthesia?
Mm-hmm.
That's
Quite strong.
that's cool. Can you talk to me about that? I've always been fascinated about the concept
So
and
I was actually talking about this today as well. I was like, we were talking about how like, yeah, it's a mad one. Because the weird thing about it for me is like, I feel like I can pinpoint the point when it formed. So my parents would put on these like story tapes when I was younger, right? It'd be like a Christian story tape, and then at the end there'd be a song. But this is when I was like 2 to 5 years old, right? So
wow,
they put
yeah.
these tapes on. My eyes would be shut before I go to sleep. But I'm listening to these tapes, and this guy's explaining the stories like very vividly, right? And then at the end of the story, there would be a song at the end, right? But because my eyes were shut, I'd hear the song, and it's like I think because I wasn't using my sense of sight, it would like shut off, and then the link would happen at that very malleable age of when I was younger, right?
Yeah. I'm amazed
And the
that you
song,
remember it too. It's quite young.
yeah, oh, it's so vivid, and like so the song is trippy as well. It was like a worship song that said, um, "This is something I realized today. It's like you gotta have faith if you can't see it with your eyes, right?" That's what the song was saying.
Wow.
My eyes were shut and I was hearing it, but that song which I heard was in like probably the D minor, along that kind of line of note, like um, those are the notes they were using.
Hmm.
So when my eyes were shut, I'd see it as a blue song. So blue to me, it just means like daytime. It's like blue. So it reminds me of being outside when the sky's blue, all this. And then there's like, I get it very strong with blue, green, and red, right?
Mm.
And blue and green are quite similar in the sense of they remind me of during the day, they remind me of
Like the grass
like
and all that.
yeah,
Scotland's
like
very
the
green,
nature side.
yeah. Hmm.
But then red, when I hear red, it's very like even if you think of your internal makeup, it's very red and like it's dark in there. So it's like it's kind of like red reminds me of like warmth, but in the sense of like nighttime, or even like something. It's red or orange. So I have red and orange really strong, and blue and green really strong. But orange to me resembles streetlights and like tungsten and like
Mm.
things of that nature because like you're never going to be in a sense during the day where everything's going to be orange. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
And
Well,
even sunset. Sunset is like the way into the nighttime. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
orange and red very much, or even like brickwork. Like I always think of like brickwork in that sense as well because it's red and it's like it's like although it's warm, it doesn't feel like a natural. It doesn't feel like during the day warm.
Right. It feels like there's some sort of
Like
like fiery
and
source or
blue.
something.
Yeah, yeah, fire, perfect. Like so, fire would be there at nighttime. You don't really see it properly at nighttime. So
Mm-hmm.
that's when things light up red in that way.
Yeah.
That's a perfect example. Um, and then blue, even though it's a cold color, like contextually, like it reminds me of the warmth that you see when it's a bright blue sky and bright blue.
Yeah. This
So I
is
use it in a way for like contextualizing an environment
yeah.
or like a time of day.
Well, I'm interested to hear that because a lot of the visualizers, or some of them, games in particular for the new songs, you're playing with this color a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
Did that influence your choice to do that?
That song's a red song.
Yeah.
So games is in the same key as assumptions. So when you hear it, kind of like transitions in the same way in the sense of it's the exact one key to the next. So that's why they're both the same color in the visualizer.
That's cool. Is your friend who got the camera and helped you make those the same friend who's doing the covers with you?
No, that's Gregor. Gregor's my good friend that I met quite recently, but like I've always wanted a friend to be able to like document stuff.
Ooh,
Like
yeah.
I was talking about that in the sense as well because a lot of like when I was doing the escapes and stuff, I felt very behind the scenes and very like not exposed in that way. And
Yeah.
it's because I hadn't found a friend that would document it, you know. So he's doing that now. But the covers were shot by a friend of mine called Sad, who he's a London-based photographer, and he does amazing film work. So they were all shot on film, but they're all his photos are in order of when they were taken during the day, and that's to be assigned to each song and what that resembles during the day at that time. Do you know what I
Oh,
mean?
that's
So
cool.
yeah,
All right, let's
it's
dive
like
in.
chronological imagery as well as chronological like during the day stamps on each song, the EP.
And you mean that musically as well as, do you mean
Basically,
it lyrically?
Well, so a new dawn is meant to resemble the morning. Duo is during the day, like very sober, very like clear, bright blue, and then games is like the emotional reflection of the day before the party. Assumptions is the party.
Amazing. Love this.
Yeah.
Love this.
Yeah.
When did you start making all the, well, okay, you said that you started making it a year ago. A year ago now, in the summer.
Assumptions is the oldest one.
Okay.
Assumptions is the one that made me start singing, so that one was in 2018, that's 3 years old, that's right. But I've developed it since then, but that's when I got the idea for that. And that's the song that made me spark the idea, and I'm just going to start singing that.
Yeah, I want to hear about that realization, that inspiration. I think you are gifted at it, I want to say.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
You're not singing about stuff that I think I haven't heard before, but you're doing it in a fresh way. I love your lyrical take.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, I'm not, as much as I love lyrics, I'm very focused on get straight to the point in that sense. I don't really me with lyrics. I love double meanings and all the rest of it, but like lyrics are never the forefront for me. It's always about how it feels first. So like what you're saying there, it reinforces that. It's like it's not necessarily what I'm saying, but it's the way it's said that I'm interested in, and it's due to the fact that I feel the music before I kind of hear it, in a sense. So I had a friends that I would talk about hip hop with, and I was very much on the beat element, and they were very much like lyrics. So they could hear a song that had, to me, a bad beat on it, and they could still vibe with it because what they were saying was catching them.
Right.
But I was stuck on the beat because I felt like that was what I was hearing first, rather than what was saying in context and detail. So that transcends into this release as well, because it's like I'm not trying to have people like going into what's said. Like I really want to just get straight to the point. And I wanted to make something bold, essentially. I wanted to make something that was like there's nowhere to hide on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As blatantly as it is.
It's interesting to have that take right after a series called Escapism, which, and then I like that it's called 4. So it feels like we're related to where we were, but we've dropped the escapism element.